All right. Welcome back, everyone. We are live. Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and we're here today. We are gathered here today to build ourselves a company that's going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. And we're about 10% there if you've been following along with Piixel Media. And we are working towards building, what are we building? We are building Piixel Pieces, which is going to be a brand new Webflow component and library template. Component and template library. I think that's the right order there. Anyways, today is Friday, so hopefully you're having a great Friday. Have a good weekend all planned up and, ready to, whatever, have some fun, do some work, whatever it is you do. And today we are going to be diving into, I wrote it down here. I wrote down a list. Where did I put it? Of just the different components that we want to finish up here. And I'm going to spend a lot of time this weekend and next week off camera and off stream, really building out these components so we can get really close to getting that done and almost getting the whole Piixel Pieces website kind of up and running. So we can start talking more business stuff and not more just like creating stuff, which is still pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. But anyways, so what are we going to do today? I think, did I put it in the description? Oh, yes. We're going to work on an accordion. Did I even spell that right? Accordion? I don't know. Anyways, which is basically like a frequently asked questions kind of thing, which I think I built for a client actually the other day. I was like, oh, we need to have this component. So it's really cool. Okay. So we're going to go back into what we did yesterday. So I was working on this blog section component and basically trying to fit everything that you could possibly want in a blog layout into this component. So that way you can cut and paste and mix and match and what have you. And then again, my idea is instead of having 20 different blog layout components, there's just one blog component, and then you can just lay it out as what makes sense to you. Whether that's going to be the right way to go about this, I don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see how people react to the actual product that we're going to be launching. But anyways, so I just added this image here, which is just like an avatar of the person, because usually, not usually, but sometimes you'll have the avatar of the actual author there as well. So anyways, that's there. So what we are going to do is we are just going to copy this and we are going to put this as the accordion. We're going to have that there. Okay. And accordion. I'm not even going to say accordion 1, 2, 3 because there's really just going to be one. Accordion style. The component. Component for FAQ and whatever. I don't even know what to put it for this, and similar content, whatever. Okay, so let's build it. And basically, what we're going to do, we're going to use the built-in drop down for it, because it works really, really well. Do I want to wrap this around? Do I want to call the drop down? No, we're going to do this accordion. All right. And then accordion, we got all section, we got all question. Let's just call it accordion drop down. Okay. Let's call this accordion drop down toggle. And then this is going to be the actual content. Accordion drop down content. Right. Okay. Let's delete that because that's kind of messing me up a little bit. Okay, so we're not going to be links. It's just going to be whatever content's going to be in here when a user clicks in it. So what do we want to do? So we can just, this is a sample question for a FAQ section. Or we got to put it as a question. It's like Jeopardy. Please, in the answer of a question. Is this a sample question for a frequently asked questions section? Okay, so what do we want to do first of all? Let's we want to make, let's make the accordion drop down 100%. And the accordion drop down toggle, let's get our padding kind of straightened out. And maybe we're going to display it flex and have everything centered and space between. That way the question is on the far side and then the icon is on the other side. And let's just for funsies, let's actually not for funsies. This is actually be, we'll keep it here, but we want to have to give this a little bit of a color so we can kind of see. We don't want it very dark. But maybe something like this. Okay, and like basically, actually, what should we put in here? Let's put some lorem ipsum in there, but maybe can we do something fun? Okay, I got some dark side ipsum. Where's that paragraph? Well, I can't see it. Okay, so we can't see it. So let's go into our drop-down settings. And we actually want to show it so we can see what's going on here. All right. Let's delete that. So with this accordion content, drop-down content, actually, we don't want it open. Actually, let's go back to hide. And let's just for a second. We want to add the same padding to it. And if we want the same padding, excuse me, we should probably actually, I feel like we should put it as a variable. Let's do that. Because that way, if they change it for one, they'll change it for everything. I feel like almost everything should be a variable, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. Okay, excellent. And because I don't want to get too specific, you know, where there's a, like maybe it should be like an accordion, you know, spacing. I don't know. Maybe that makes sense for a component, but not for the actual style guide. Okay. So we have our paragraph here. Let's go back into our settings and all right. So we have our standard paragraph. Let's do this accordion content. I don't want it. Oh, one sec. Hello? Sorry, who's this? Oh, okay. Somebody delivering something. I didn't expect. Did I order anything? Did I order anything? I don't think I ordered something. Anyway, somebody might come knocking at the door here. Okay. I want to do some styling on this, but I don't want to do it just for it when it's open. Hey, Andrea, did you order something? Did you order something? Oh, okay. So you just called, so I don't know if you want to or hang up. Okay, so what color should we give it? I mean, the reason I want to give it a color is just so people could see. Right? Or maybe it just shouldn't have one at all. Because when you go here, like you just see it, right? Okay. And then now we just make other ones. If we go into this accordion, we want to add, again, we're going to flex this, but we're going to do it vertically. And then we're going to give it spacing as we always do. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. All right. We have to look at its positioning. Oh, no, I can't remember how I did this before. Number one. Let's make the background color white for one. And its positioning. What is its positioning? Right, its positioning is absolute. And I think we want to do, what is it that we want to do with the positioning? I think we need to make it, static. Position is static. Because when we see it, yeah, it needs to expand basically like this. Yeah, that's perfect. And what's great about doing this is that with the drop down element, it did you get it? Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Was there even a ticket? I'll check it. I don't know. Maybe it was wrong number. Let me check Amazon to see if it actually says delivered. Yeah, it just says ship, so it doesn't say anything. Anyway, sorry. There was somebody called saying that they were delivering something and nobody's here. So, anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, with the drop down, when you click on it, when you click out of it, it already closes the actual menu. So that's nice. So really, the only thing else that we want to do, I believe, to make this really cool is to do like animations, right? So you can animate it. But is that even necessary? I mean, I guess it is necessary because we want to do at least have, I think we want to have some base animations. I think the idea for me is to have this thing, you know, these things be completely naked, but still, I don't know. So just to have a little something. I don't know. I'm going to have to really think about this and really spend a lot of time just like designing shit on all these components. I really want these things to be like amazing. All right, so how is it that this accordion is so awesome? Why would I ever want to use anything other than Webflow? What is the coolest, I'm just making up stupid stuff here, coolest thing about Piixel Media? Okay. I'm wondering if I should, like, if I do animations now or do I wait to do them later to get everything kind of on the same page? Kind of like when I'll do, what's the word I'm looking for? Mobile responsiveness. I kind of like to do that kind of all at the same time. So yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good. I mean, obviously, so the animations we want to spin this down arrow, and then we want to, I don't know, we could just make this a lot smoother. Hey, is Freezer? I like that. Nice spelling. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you on board. What? Yeah, I mean, what the heck? Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's work on some animations. And again, the icon here. I'm not a big fan of this generic icon. So I do believe we have our own. Did we? I think we had our own here in the navigation. Let's take a look. No, I kept it here. I kept that one here. This one. Oh, here we go. Here's our embed. Let's take this one and let's get to our accordion. And let's throw that in there. So this has a class of HTML embed. Why does it have that class? We want to put this as, what class do we want to use for this, for our icons? All right, hang on a second. Let's delete that, put it in the right spot. So in client first, let's go look at client first again, since that's what we're based off of. And that's one of the styles that I didn't put in the style sheet. And that was the icons. So where are the icons? Oh, this is really cool. They have this in other languages now. That's awesome. These guys do really awesome stuff. Where's the actual documentations? Okay, where is it? It's probably under utilities. Yes, icons. Here we go. Okay, icon height small, medium. So set a height. Okay, icon 101 sets both width and height. Okay, let's see. Let me see what this says in here. Da, 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 da. Read-only mode, that's fine. Scroll down to the icons. Icons, icons, icons. So icon 1 by 1. It just has, okay. That's actually not bad. But then they have icon 1-on-1 small, medium, large, square. I actually like that. So I'm probably going to have to put that into our style guide, which we don't have. I'm pretty sure we don't have it. Let's just take another quick look here. Utility. Yeah, we don't have anything for icons. So we're going to have to throw that in there. Okay, I'm going to make a note of that, and we'll get to work on that. So icon 1 by 1 styles. Okay, perfect. And I wonder for the other icons, these ones, if he just has these set to, yeah, he's got the height set and the width is auto. So if your icons aren't square, then they'll still kind of be small, medium, and large. Okay, I like that. Okay, we're gonna put that. We'll put that in. We'll put that into our style guide. Okay, beauty. Okay, that being said, where are we? Let's get back to the accordion, and we just want. So let's put the class in right now and just make it here. Icon, what is it? 1x1. Oops, 1x1 small. Was that it? I can't even remember now. Icon dash 1x1 dash small, which I didn't save it. Icon 1x1 dash small. Right. And we're going to go, actually, we're going to use our variables, which makes the most sense for our small, medium, large. Perfect. So we don't have to define it every single time. Okay, excellent. However, now we're having issues with the actual icon itself. And what are those issues? Let me zoom out a little bit here so I can access this wheel. Right. Has to do with our sizing here. And I wonder if we take that off the SVG, what effect that's going to have. Yeah, it totally cuts that off completely. Do I have any guidance to learn web development from scratch? So I do, but a few other questions. What is your level of computer proficiency right now? And have you done any kind of work with computers at all or anything like that? And then another question would be, are you wanting to learn more how to program, or are you wanting to learn more how to design things and make things look nice, and kind of basically the front end stuff of what you see on a website or a program? So you're very familiar with programming and designing. So then you just want to learn how to build websites? Is that your goal? Both. Hey, Rolando. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Nice to have you here. I've done Python, HTML, CSS, but I stopped practicing for a year now. Yeah, okay. I guess actually, now that I think about it, it's kind of a loaded question in the sense that it really depends on what your goals are and what it is that you're trying to achieve. For me, if you're serious about wanting to learn how to build websites because you want to make it into a job or you want to go get a career in that field, so you want to refurbish your web skills. You want to refurbish your skills. When you say you refurbish your web skills, like you just want to like improve them, because refurbish is like, hey, you're taking something old and like adding some new skills to it and making it better. So I think you want to expand your knowledge base in terms of what you can do on the web, expand your skill base, which is a fantastic thing to do, by the way. It's always great to learn new languages. So greetings from Mexico. Hey, that's awesome. I've never been to Mexico, but I want to go. Oh man, I've been wanting to go for so long. So you might have to give me some tips on places that I should look out to go to if I just want to go move in and explore your country for like a couple months. I think that'd be amazing. So you're just learning and you like the way I explain things and do my thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, one of the things too that I do is like I'm just kind of working. So I just kind of work and kind of talk at the same time. So it's not really so much of tutorial like type videos. But I'm glad that you appreciate it. So thank you. So yeah, getting back to the question. So if you're really wanting to be serious and you really want to get a really good handle on it, then understanding the principles behind HTML and CSS and learning everything behind that and just basically kind of learning that language is probably it's like getting the fundamentals down. So I would really kind of focus on that. So there's all kinds of different things you can do. There's tutorials on YouTube, of course, and there's courses that you can buy. I don't know any specific courses or whatever that would be great for that. I mean, I know myself, I'm kind of developing my own course for that kind of stuff, but that's not going to be ready for a while. But getting a good handle on the basics will help you then be able to figure out what tools you want to use the most in terms of how you want to go build your websites, right? Because there's all kinds of tools. Like I am using Webflow right here, which I think is a phenomenal tool, which allows me to build like 95% of the stuff that I want to build within this framework, which basically writes your CSS and HTML behind the scenes. But I find people that jump into a tool like this, they find it a little bit harder if they don't understand the principles behind HTML and CSS and why it's doing what it's doing. So I think having that grasp is really important. And even with it doesn't take that long. Like if you just spent time building a couple websites and practicing building something just by hand, even just using any basic text editor and just doing straight HTML and CSS, you're going to learn so fast. And within a week, you're going to get really, really proficient at understanding how those languages work. And then from there, there's all kinds of different avenues and doors that'll open in terms of how you want to work. So yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, where I'd start. And then if you're really interested in the design aspect of it, learning, like there's lots of books about like Great Artist Steal or the Artist, like something like great. Yeah, I think it's like Artist Steal, something like that. Just kind of books and people that talk about the artistic stuff behind websites. So typography and learning color theory, and just learning kind of the whole creative process, I think can help go a long way in terms of how to make a website visually appealing. And then the other aspect of that, which I think will come a little bit further down the line, would be information architecture and how you take information and display it in a way on a website so that it makes sense for a user that wants to explore content. And that's a little bit more, I would say that's more advanced. But first, it's getting down the basics of how to build websites, and then figuring out the proper tools to do that, and then figuring out how to make it look good and design good and the whole user experience. And on top of that, then how to actually structure the content. So kind of scaling that way. It's a bit of a general thing. But if you want me to go more in depth in any of this kind of stuff, just by all means, let me know. Hopefully that was helpful. Rolando, in terms of, let's see, it depends on what type of climates you like. Mexico, yeah, I know. That's what I love. I love all kinds of different climates. Of course, I'm here in Canada, and we get experience all the way from plus 30 degrees and mega humidity in the summer to, minus 30 in the winter. So I'm used to having all kinds of different climates. I guess for me, with my family, to say like, hey, let's go check out someplace and live somewhere else. I think they would say like, okay, let's get a nice, I would say kind of like subtropical kind of thing where it's just, kind of 25 degrees, nice breeze. I guess by the ocean would be nice. So kind of that kind of thing, that kind of climate. But I mean, mountains also would be amazing. Cause I like that kind of the cooler air and all that stuff. That would be kind of nice as well too. But yeah, it definitely does depend, on kind of what kind of climate you like, for sure. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I appreciate that. And again, and any other questions or anything I can do, just let me know and I'll try to help as much as I can. Okay. So that being said, where was I? The icons, right? So the aspect ratio here is getting completely demolished. There we go. I got to make it 24 by 24. I'm not going to try to pronounce these because I'll probably butcher them. Viserigal? Orizaba? Puebla? Yeah, so I'm sorry. My pronunciation is totally horrible, so I'll definitely have to work on that. I'm going to copy these and write them down. Actually, you know what? I'll take a screenshot. So then I could look. There we go. Actually, I don't need to take a screenshot. I can just come back and watch the stream because it's right here. Excellent. Awesome. Thanks for the tips. I appreciate that. I want to check those places out. Hey, David, welcome to the stream. So I happen to be virtually, my videos are stalking you. That's kind of hilarious. Just started hearing about Webflow. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. When you start typing things on YouTube or whatever, they kind of recommend certain things. So I guess I'm glad I'm popping up in your feed. Yeah, so Webflow, I mean, just real quick. So if you're like more of a backend developer, Webflow, I think is a fantastic tool for you to be able to, especially if you're not familiar with designing the front end stuff, as a tool to be able to kind of complement your development skills. But as I was saying earlier about this is having a good grasp of HTML and CSS will help you go a long way in figuring out how to optimize and use Webflow as quickly as possible. But what I'm doing and what I'm building here is I'm building these components in this whole library and these templates so that people that might not have the design chops or skills or whatever can just literally just with like one click copy and paste and then have like a full blown site ready to go. And then you just kind of plop in whatever stuff you want for your backend stuff or whatever development stuff that you want, depending on whatever it is that you're building, right? Whatever your backend system is going to be. So that's the idea. But anyways, welcome. And if you ever have any questions or what have you, just by all means, just leave them in the chat or let me know. And yeah, we'll learn and figure things out together. Yeah, it's a full stack. Yeah. Seems like it might be a quicker way to develop websites. 100%. Well, I'll say 100%, but with an asterisk for depending, like if you're really good at using something like Rails or whatever, or other frameworks, you might be able to spin up something by yourself using kind of one tool. But for the majority of people, especially if you're not good at the whole stack, which you're not gonna have many people that are, then absolutely it is a super, super fast tool. In fact, like for me, with my company and my agency, I only use Webflow now to build sites, and I can have a client website up in less than a day. Like, it's that easy, that quick. So because it's really, really powerful, which is good. Is it a fairly cheap platform? Hard to gauge pricing for these types of things. It can be pricey. Let's look at the pricing here. I find it's average. Like, basically what you need to do is you kind of need, well, I have two different things. There's a site plan and then like a workspace plan. So like if you have an agency, you're going to want to have a workspace plan, because that shows how many actual sites you can have like within your workspace, right? So if I go, for example, I could give you a quick look at my workspace. So I have my workspace here where I have all these different things are all individual sites, and I have sites here for my clients. And depending on your plan with your workspace, it shows how many actual sites you can kind of have in your account. But usually if you're just doing it for yourself, you just have the free plan and away you go. But then when you look at the actual pricing for a site, just like a basic site, it starts at $14 a month, American. I'm Canadian, so it's like $20 Canadian. So it's on the higher price, I think, other than if you're just going to get some standard hosting at like a really cheap hosting for WordPress or whatever. But then you don't have to worry about any configurations or anything like that. But of course, if you're going to use like Amazon or Microsoft or just whatever cloud service on your own, then obviously it's going to be way more expensive, but you're trading off convenience, right? Like, you don't have to do anything. You just hit one button, publish, and it just pushes it to your site, and away you go. So, but if you want to have database stuff, $23, and then business, it just gives you a little bit more options, $40 a month. It's pretty expensive, I think, but for me, I think it's well worth it, especially for my clients. And then for me, when I charge my clients, I just kind of, whatever maintenance fee, I just kind of build in whatever the price is for the package. So yeah, so they do the front end stuff and the back end stuff too, because you can use their CMS, which is basically their database system to run your website. So you don't even have to have other third-party integrations, but the fact that their API is really robust and you can bring in all kinds of different third-party applications and tools to it, it makes their system really, really robust. And I've seen a lot of people, they use their own personal, completely separate backends framework, like if they're using Node.js or whatever it is that they're doing for the backend, and they just plug in that data into their Webflow site. And their Webflow they use just for deploying the front end stuff, because speed and all that, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And then their backend is run completely separate. So it all depends on how you want to use it. But yeah, so it's I don't know, it's fairly decently priced. I'm not going to say it's like ridiculously expensive, but it's fairly decently priced. So Rolando, sorry, I'll get to your question here in just a second. So basically a much better version of WordPress. For me, 100%. Like, I used to do all my client work in WordPress like 10, 15 years ago, and I have completely abandoned it because this is, for me, it's like 100 times better. And I've talked about this so many times about the difference between Webflow and WordPress. And it's easier to maintain, it's clean, and it's easier for clients to use. You don't have to worry about all these stupid plugins, and it's just so much nicer. It's just so good. And yeah, you work with WordPress. Yeah, because WordPress, it's huge. It has the market share in terms of websites. Like, what is it, 25%? Or I don't know what the exact number is of all websites are WordPress. And it's this big, huge thing that is built to do like a one-page website or like a massive, huge site or e-commerce, whatever the case may be. So the code is really, really bloated. And before, what I used to do when I did WordPress is I'd always take a fresh install of WordPress and cut out all the fat and then start from this kind of base starting point and then build a site there. And you'd have to do that every single time you'd have a new client. But I'm kind of transitioning that into Webflow, where what I'm building now with these components is I'm calling it Naked Flow, which is its own naked version of a WordPress or a Webflow site that is, what am I saying here? It's a Webflow site that is already pre-built that I can take it and just style it according to whatever client I have and have a website ready to go in, again, like less than a day. So super slick, super quick. And then of course, I want to just put it open source or whatever for people to just be able to download and use it for their own stuff. So yeah, I'll never look back from WordPress. Not to say that it doesn't have its place, but I won't go back. So a question regarding design. Where are you looking for inspiration? So I used to, back when I was starting, I used to look at a lot of basically like CSS galleries where it showcases a lot of websites that people like. So there's like CSS awards. I can't even remember what they all are. Like there's CSS Mania. There was a whole bunch of different websites that had like really cool designs from really cool designers. And I would look a lot of these people at their work and their portfolios and kind of get inspiration from them. But I don't really do that anymore because I find that when I'm looking at other people's work that you kind of tend to almost copy what they're doing and into your work. And then it really gets you susceptible to trends as well, which I don't find, personally for me, I don't like to work that way. Because the way that I work, especially with my clients, I do worry about design and I do want to make sure all my stuff looks really, really good. But I'm really more interested now in making sure that whatever the needs are and the goals are of a specific website, that the content and the way that the user experience is, it really optimizes whatever the client needs and whatever the website needs to do. One of the things that I think about is if you look at something like Craigslist, how that website itself looks completely horrible, but yet it's very efficient at what it does, right? So I think there's always a balancing act between the design and the actual purpose of a website. So anyways, that being said, in terms of inspiration, yeah, I mean, there's websites that I see that I come across that I like. I kind of bookmark it. And sometimes I'll be like, I really like how they did this thing. If there's something I think that looks really, really cool, I'll bookmark it, or I'll keep a little bit of not a mood board at all, but I just kind of keep all my things kind of bookmarked. And if I see a project that I'm working on that I know could benefit from that thing, I'll just kind of take it and incorporate it into my work, into a design. So yeah. But I find like even looking around in nature is really kind of cool for design. But I guess that's more of, I'm not really good at this, but when I do drawings and illustrations, looking around in nature and stuff kind of helps you figure out, different patterns and whatever. So I haven't really been able to cross-pollinate my drawing skills with my web design and development. Not yet anyways. I don't know if I'll ever get there because that's requires a lot of dedication, I find. And that's very specific and very niche. Anyways, yeah. Okay. Back to the accordion. I think we're pretty much done in the sense that we want to do animations. That's what we want. That's what we want to do. So let's animate this thing. And this is the one thing that's really cool in terms of the animations. The way the interface is a little bit clunky in Webflow, but once you have it and you want to animate other things, it's super slick. So let's do that now. Okay, so we got these icons. So what do we want to do? Let's preview this. So when we click on one of these accordion menu items, we want to let's just move the position down a little bit. So kind of like fades in or slides in or slides down. And then we want to spin the icon as well. That'll be good. Okay, so let's start with the spinning of the icon. So when we do an animation, basically what are they called? They're called interactions in Webflow. Okay, so let's see if I remember how to do this, if I can get it right the first time. Probably not. Okay, So we want to click on the accordion and we want to trigger that on when the drop-down opens. So one of the reasons why we use the drop-down element, that's kind of this pre-built component within Webflow, is so that we can access this interaction from when the drop-down opens. Otherwise, we'd have to do it on a click, which is fine too, but because this is already built in, we might as well just take advantage of it. Okay, so when the drop-down opens, we want to start an animation. And that animation, so we already have these animations here, okay, which we might need to clean up a little bit. We are going to start a new animation, and we're going to call this, let's say, accordion open. And when the accordion opens, we want to go on. We need to select our icon here. And on that icon, we want to have an action, and we want to rotate it. And we are going to rotate it. Actually, we need to, let me think about how this animation is going to go. I think we need to set a starting. Yeah, we need to set a start. So at the start, initial state is what it's called. So we need to set this as initial state where the rotation is 0. And then we need to rotate it again, or rotate it. This time we want to rotate it, what, like 90 degrees? Yeah, or 180. Whoop, 180 degrees. And let's give it an ease in out, and let's just say 0.3 seconds. All right, let's save that. Sorry, question here. Did you mention that you have a site ready for a client in 1 day? Do you already have a blueprint ready with the basics? Saved as not to start from scratch. So that's literally what I'm building right now. So it's not ready yet, but it's for sure going to be ready by Christmas time. So I can show you, where can I show you? Where are we? Let's go. Where's my dashboard? Well, I mean, it's not ready yet, so there's not much I can show you right now. So this is what it's going to be called here. It's going to be called Naked Flow, and I take it from WordPress when I used to call it Naked Press, when it'd be you take down all the code and have it completely ready to go. So on this thing, it's going to have, it has the navigation, and it's going to have the hero section, and it's going to have the content area, then it's going to have the blog, and then it's going to have the footer, and then it's going to have separate pages. It'll have an about page, have a contact page. Yeah, all of that stuff. It's going to be pre-built, which you're going to be able to clone from, wherever the repository is going to be into your own Webflow, and then you'll have it ready to go. So it's not ready yet, but it's coming. And one of the things that I've done, that I have been working on to get things ready for this, is this style guide. And this style guide, I don't have this public yet, so you can't clone it just yet, but it's based off of the client first system. And this is a style guide that every project is going to have with all these pre-built classes and basically styling as well. And I took it one step further as well, where a lot of things are set in variables. So if you have specific colors in mind for what your project is going to have, you can just set them all through here in this kind of variables panel. And I'm hoping that Webflow will add more functionality to these variables so we can have a little bit more flexibility in what we do. But it's all here, like text size, the sizings of all the paddings and margins, default, global, things like your fonts and whatever. They're all kind of here in this style guide. So it's coming, and hopefully it's going to be ready. Well, I can't say it's going to be ready by Christmas, before Christmas. So that's the plan. I'm going to work all day, night and day, to get it ready by then. Because again, for me, I built so many websites for so many different clients that, I'm just kind of building a tool that I know is going to help me. And then hopefully it's going to help you guys as well too, that are making sites whether for yourself or for client or whatever the case may be. And of course, my hope as well too is to have you guys use this tool and then give me feedback on what I could do better so that we can make it, you just continually improve it, right? To make it better and better. Okay, so we have this on click. So let's just, okay, so we have that rotation on click. So that's cool. So that's working. All right. So actually, I'll zoom in here a little bit more. Okay. So we have that on open, and now we want to make another action on close. And we're going to create a new animation, and we're going to call this accordion close. And again, we're going to go on the icon and we're going to, oh, excuse me, a lot of talking. We're going to give it an action. We're going to rotate it. And we're just basically going to rotate it back to 0. Set it to 0.3 seconds. Yeah, so one of the things too I've noticed with the animations or the interactions is you can't set variables on them, which is really annoying. I would really love to set a variable for the duration of an animation. So all your animations have the same duration. And ease in and out quad. And yeah, we'll save that. So let's have a look. Open, close. Cool. So we got a little animation here on our icon. And the last animation we want to have is with our accordion. Now, what can we do? All right. So we have our position static and we want to slide it down. So there's two ways we can go about this. And the first way, I don't know if it's going to be the best way. Okay, sorry, I'm just thinking now. So let's just show this. So this is just a show, a hide and not hide. So in the CSS, it just has whatever, display none. So maybe what we can do, so we can either we can not show it, or we can give it a position of 0 at the top of the main accordion dropdown. And then we can position it to height being auto on open, and then it'll go from 0 to auto. I think we need to do something like that. You could set the duration of the accordion animation equal to that of the icon. Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's actually going to be, the animation is going to be on the same trigger. So it should, well, I guess you can individually do that, but yeah, I'm going to set them the same. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I guess you could make things differently as well too. I guess, yeah, that's the whole thing with how you're building it, is you can really take these interactions and do all kinds of really crazy stuff. Okay, so if we have this content, so what are we going to have to do? I think we're going to have to put it, how are we going to have to put it? I think the way, what is the way? I mean, if we give it a height of 0, what happens there? It still has a little bit. Let's see. All right, let's take a quick look. Let's go to our interactions. Let's see how this is going to go. I think I'm pretty sure I'm missing something here. So we're going to go to, we need to go to basically our drop-down content. and we are going to have to give it, I guess, a size. So we're going to have to give it a height of 0. And again, we're going to set that as our initial state. And then when it's clicked on or the accordion opens, we want to give it another size, and we're going to give it a height of auto. And that hopefully should bring it to the size that we want it to be, right? So with the previous action and our duration, 0.3 milliseconds. All right. So let's save that. I feel like I'm missing something, but let's have a look. Let's see what's happening here. Right, that's not what we want at all, because the height here is still, I think, yeah, it has to do something with the show and then the showing and the hiding. It could be that the context box drops and then the content itself appears sometime later. Yeah, you definitely could do that. What I'm trying to go for is, having the content box drop itself, and then we'll worry about if we want to do anything else in terms of having the whatever items within that box hide it, like appear or fade in or whatever the case may be. So this is really annoying because I just did this like the other day, which is why I'm like, oh, I'm just going to make this accordion today because I've just done this. And I think it has to do with, so I could set the height with fit content. So I think that would have to be something where I'd have to have I'd have to put that custom code in there, which is one thing that I want to try to avoid because I want these to be kind of cut and paste and easy for somebody to work around with without having to go into custom code. That's the only thing that I want to avoid. But I know this can be done because, like I said, I've just built something like this. I'm pretty sure Webflow actually has a tutorial on this, which is kind of where I got this from. So if we... Oh, wait, maybe... Hang on a second. What the heck did I do? I'm gonna kick at myself. We're not figuring this out. Sorry, I'm just checking out something here on my other screen. Oh, I know this is something. This has got to be something simple. What am I missing? So we have the height of this. Position is static. The height is set to 0. But then the interaction. Is that the right interaction size? Yeah, because we don't want to yeah, we definitely don't want to do any transform. No, I think I'm right. There's just something where I'm wrong. Because it should have. It should have a smooth open. So why is it not having a smooth open? Like for example, instead of, if I did a height, let me just say I'm doing something of 400 pixels. Let's see what that does. So that's, you can see there was a little bit of that animation there. So that worked. Let me just slow that down a bit here. So if we do this for 1 second, we hit save and I hit play. So it immediately just showed the text and then there was that opening. So why is that? It's almost like the text wasn't inside the actual element that is being animated. So why is that? Because it's all, this is the, I mean, that's the element. Or are we absolutely positioned and then when we click on it, then it, no, that won't work. That's not right at all. Settings, let's show. I want to try something here. Right, it's got that slight delay. Maybe what I should do, I wonder. No. I don't want to set the content itself to hidden. What is causing that delay? You know what I want to do? This is going to be, oh, it's not cheating, but I'm going to go into this other account and I'm going to see what the hell it was that I did and see what the difference is. Bear with me here for a second. Okay. And let's go, where do we want to go? Okay, so here's something that I did just the other day. So this is an accordion that toggles. Open, closed, open, closed. And this is exactly what we want to build. So that is getting a smooth opening. Now, the question I have is, what did I do here? So there's no height set here. That could be why. That could absolutely be why. And event toggle. So this one has a height, which is fine. What's this position? That position is relative. And this here, it has the overflow of hidden. Because why is that overflow hidden? I don't know what is overflowing. And let's just check out the interaction here. Interesting. I see. It's growing the whole accordion, not. So what I did here was when you click on it, it grows the whole thing. Because there's the toggle part and then there's the drop down part. And so the height is set to a specific height. In this case, it's 80 pixels. So the problem with that is that you have to know what height you want to have this accordion thing. So basically what this is saying, if I just undo this one, let me just give me 1 second here. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so we're still going to have that delay, how things are going to open up. Right. Let's look at this again here. Yeah, everything is open already. Interesting. I don't know if I quite want to do it that way. So basically what's happening is on the interaction, on the open, it's not hitting this class. It's actually going for the accordion drop down. On itself. Oh, but it's the parents? Ooh, that's going to be a little awkward. Accordion drop down. Nope, that's not right. All right. Yeah, this is where I find the animation stuff tricky to do in Webflow, because you kind of have to select your element first and then get on it, and then it just gets annoying. It won't allow me to do that. Do I have that right? Let me look at this again. Yeah, the interaction trigger. I have it on that specific one. Okay. So, all right. Let's see what we can do. Let's delete that, delete this, delete this. We want to create a new action. We want to, no, that's not right. Size, right? But we want to do it here, and now it's not letting us. Oh, no. I think that's because of all these other ones. Oh, why are you being... Interesting. Okay. I'm going to try starting another one. This thing's being, this is really annoying. Okay, let's create a new one. So we're just going to call this open test. Add action to the element itself. And we're going to set its height to 0. No, we don't want to set to 0. We want to set it to, as an example, what's going to be. Say we're going to set them to 60 pixels, or maybe 50 pixels. And then, okay, this will work because it'll be the same way I did it before. But again, I'm not sure this is the way I want to go. And then we're going to want to duplicate that again for the size. And we're going to make it auto. And we're going to save that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our style. We're going to set the height to 50 pixels. And this is why we need to set the overflow to hidden. So it's going to hide all of this stuff that's below. So if we come in now, no, something else is wrong. Something else is still wrong. If we show this, but I think, what do I have? Do I have some weird styling associated with this? I mean, does this, no, that shouldn't need to be set to auto. Where am I going wrong? I mean, that should just be visible. And why is it not? Oh, it's not on the accordion. It's on the toggle. Right. Interesting. This one needs to be set to 50 pixels. So does that solve our problem? Sort of. Now we got this weird animation going in. But that's more of what we want. Although, why is the interaction being a little bit weird? Oh, because I got this open close thing going on. And then if we have the accordion closed, let's see if we can add a size here. Accordion drop down, and we're going to make it go back down to 50 pixels. And do that with the previous action. Save. Anyways, it's working somewhat. Why is it being annoying? That's the question. Okay, you know what? Let's get it working so that way When everything's working, then we could see if we can fix everything else. Okay, so this is actually working nicely. So thank you very much for that. Set that to 50 at its initial state. And then we are going to set its size to auto. And then with the previous interaction, okay. So that's good. And on close. Oh, this is actually working now. Okay. There we go. So now we're good. Now we have it working. Oh, not on this one because the animation's not set to that. Okay, so now we have a very smooth open and close animation. Just about. On close here, everything kind of gets hidden. So I'll have to see what's going on with that. But here's my problem. Here's my question. Is in order for this to work, you're going to, and if you want to adjust it yourself, you're going to need to know to set this height of this drop down toggle. But this is only if you want to have it animated, right? If you don't want to have it animated like this, then you don't really have to worry about it. Or maybe there's going to be a better way to do the animation so that when the thing comes up, it grows. Maybe, yeah, I think I'm going to play around with that to see if I can do a better way. Because the way this is, actually, let's just put the animation on with all of them, and we can kind of see how it looks. Select an action on the menu opens, start an animation, accordion open, and on close, we're going to do accordion close. Okay, excellent. We're going to delete this one, and just copy and paste other ones. Okay. So, like, it looks pretty good. The only thing we have is there's an issue of the actual content disappearing before it's closed, but that's okay. We can just set that to display all or something like that to make sure that it doesn't get hidden. But so it's a good animation. How things kind of collapse on each other. And then of course you click out on one, it just closes. So I think we could just smoothen out the animation and just make it better. And make it so that, so for example, if you're on a phone, if this thing's set to 50 pixels, then you're kind of screwed. So you're gonna have to go in and either adjust the height depending on the resolution of the device. I don't want that. I want this height to be like automatic. But if the height is automatic, the animation can't do that. The animation needs to know exactly how many pixels to expand or contract. So it just needs to know that, which is really annoying. That's really annoying. So I think we're going to have to just do something custom with this accordion drop-down content. I think if we set that to 0 and then make that go auto and then force it to move all the other content down, because I don't know why it's behaving as if it's outside of this element, which it's not. Maybe this is outside the trigger of the animation. I don't know. But I'll work on it. I'll work on it and I'll clean that up and then we'll fix it. And then we'll have the best accordion menu available for everyone. Because yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. I like the way this is working, but it's just not flexible. Like I want all these components, they need to be like 100% flexible and easy to use for everyone. I don't want to have to make a 20-minute long tutorial on how to use the accordion and why you have to set specific heights depending on what content you want. So if I want someone to come in here and they want to have an accordion menu, but they want, but they want an image in here, right? They want the image instead of the text, and that image is going to be whatever of this cat, and they want that image to be you know, whatever, 100 pixels high, then you're screwed, right? Because you're going to have to come in here and they're like, okay, well, it's not working right. How come? Maybe you make this to 120. Okay, so it's working here. And then you go here and then your animation's all messed up, right? Like everything is just wrong because of the animations. And then they're going to have to go into the animation, fix the animation. It's a big pain in the ass. It's a big pain in the ass. So we're not going to do it this way. We can't do it this way. We have to do it another way. Yeah, we're just gonna, we just have to. I don't know. There's nothing else to say, but I mean, yeah. And the problem is because of the animation, and I don't think there's any way we can get around that. Where if we go into the interaction, when you open it, yeah, the height. Well, even this, if we set that to auto, would that work? Oh, maybe. That would be amazing if it did. Oh, wait, no. I gotta update this one too. And then it closes, it goes back down to auto. Is that gonna work? Yeah, it does, but it doesn't. Like, it's patchy in the animation. Like it's waiting that half second. So what's happening here? It's not animating the size. It's just going to whatever it is when it opens and closes. I don't know. I'm going to have to put some thoughts. Unless anybody here watching has any ideas as to why, or not why, but how we can modify this specific animation to make it work without knowing the actual height of the trigger element here with the toggle. Because this height needs to be dynamic. I don't think there's any way we can do it using this type of interaction. I think we're going to have to, instead of changing the height of this whole element, we have to change the height of this thing and just have it grow and push down the content and then have it grow and shrink. And then this thing stays the same, which we should be able to do. Yeah, I know. We're going to make, listen, I hear you. I hear you. But we got to make Webflow itself write that CSS for us, right? Let me try one thing. All right, let's go back here. No, up here. Let's go to our interaction. Okay, we're gonna delete that. Let's go to our content here. So this height is 0 initially. And then when you click on it again, or we close the accordion, we do want the height to be auto. But I know that's still also, it does it a little bit. And let's go to close. Again, delete this. And then we go back to our accordion dropdown. And we do that size to be, or the height to go down to 0. it's basic. It's like it shows, but we can't hide show on. We can't animate that. It's either shown or not shown. What can we do? That's a problem with how the content is, because the content is going outside of the actual element. Even though this is the parent element and we're setting the height to 0, this stuff. Oh, what if we, obviously if we set the overflow here to hidden, that might help, at least in terms of cleaning up the look. Let's see what, no, it's still the same issue. But why on click, on close, is it not animating nicely? Yeah, it should take half a second, but it's not. It's just doing it instantly. And I think maybe, you know what, let's take a quick second here. Just so we can see it a little bit more clearly to see what's going on. And let's give it a background color of blue. So it's opening, but then when it closes, it just closes immediately. Interesting. Why is it doing that? It's closing immediately, even though we have it set to go down to 0 in 0.5 seconds. That's a little bit of a mystery to me. Even if we do after. Oh, that's weird. It's just like not working. Or do I even have the animation set correctly? No. Accordion open. Accordion closed when the menu closes. Okay, I want to... what do I want to do? I want to delete this one. Delete that one. What are you doing? I mean, what if I set it to something that's not 0? Is that going to have any effect? Nope. Is there just... what the hell's going on? Okay, well, I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, boy. Okay, I need to take some time. I'm going to need to figure this thing out. I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. And I'm not sure exactly how to fix this. But I'll fix it one way or the other. Fix it or, you know, not... I don't think I want to just not have a drop-down animation. Because it's just nice. It's nice with an accordion. Because that's one of the reasons why you want to use an accordion, because it's got this nice, smooth open and close. And there's got to be, I'm sure there's a way. And even if I do have to Rolando, like what you're saying, if I need to just use custom CSS and just put it in there, then I just will. I'd rather have that over having to have a fixed width of the actual toggle of the accordion, right? Of the question or whatever the heck is inside that. So yeah. So I'll fix it, and then I'll report back on Monday as to what we have. So what other things do I want to do? I know I want to build some hero sections, some call to action sections. Need to build some team, like meet the team kind of sections, testimonial sections. Probably do some updates on the actual slider and then the gallery, and have a subscribe form. I know lots of different things to do. And we'll make those into components, and we'll get all those components ready to go into our theme that is going to be available for everyone to use, that naked theme. And then we'll figure out how all the rest of the templates are going to go and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's 1:30. It's 1:30. It's been an hour and a half. It's 2:30 here, my time, Eastern time. No, I'm not Eastern. Oh, geez, I'm not in Eastern time anymore. I'm Atlantic time. Thank you so much for everyone for dropping in and tuning in. I really appreciate you guys coming in and commenting and helping me out. Always great to have you guys here. And have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and hope you get some great work done or spend time outside, enjoying the family, friends, all that good stuff. And we'll see you here for another live stream on Monday. Until then, take it easy, and we'll see you next time.